La lucha nunca se trata de uvas o lechuga, siempre se trata de personas. The fight is never about grapes or lettuce, it is always about people. It's ever too late to pursue medicine or pursue becoming a doctor. I think, especially for people of color, it's so easy to get discouraged, especially when you hear, the statistics, the GPAs, the MCAT score, the money. That's all. I get it. Those are all important factors, I would say, still, unfortunately. But despite having a 498 score on the MCAT, I think I just really showed in my application that I wasn't giving up. So I also didn't have the greatest GPA, so I had a 3.2, I think. So obviously not anywhere close to the average on either of them. But I worked as a CNA for 3 years and I had a lot of patient experience that way. So I think that was very useful. I also went back to school and got my master's in biomedical sciences at Rocky Vista University, which is also a medical school, osteopathic medicine. And I did really well. So I think I just showed that I could handle the rigor of medical school, and also that I'm not one to give. I came into medical school engaged to my partner at the time. We had kind of been thinking about postponing the wedding another year because it was just hard. And what made it even harder was that we moved from Colorado to Wisconsin together. And then, so I was having just difficulties adapting, I guess, to Wisconsin and not having my family around because they're a big part of who I am, and my friends, of course. So that was a lot. And then you add on the, difficulty of medical school, and that really strained our relationship. We ended up calling off the engagement and breaking up at the end of my first year. We ultimately decided that we just didn't share the same long-term life goals. So no hard feelings. It was obviously difficult because he had to move all the way back to Colorado, and that wasn't fun for either of us. But yeah, it's difficult to say that I was trying to find the balance between doing well in school and also keeping my mental health in check, and then also worrying about his mental health and just his overall well-being, because again, he also moved here from Colorado and he was also alone. So we were alone in this but together, and so we depended on each other for a lot of things. And I didn't have the time to give him that I wanted to give him. And when I would give him time, I would feel guilty about not studying. And when I was studying too much, then I would feel guilty about not spending as much time with him. So it was honestly just an emotional roller coaster ride for us. I wouldn't say it's impossible. I think people can have meaningful, serious relationships in medical school, but it's definitely a lot of work. I come from a very strong Latino background, and I've always been surrounded by basically Latinos. It's a big part of my identity, and I'm also passionate about diversity, inclusion. The other key piece of who I am is mentoring and mentorship, and that's really important. Reach out to really any of us. We're always happy to help and share our stories and help you, support you get here if you really want to pursue it.